dirty as you feel. Hello, everybody. How you doing, you beautiful, free-thinking souls, all of you? So good to be amongst friends. We all love friends. Life is good. May I just invoke favor upon everybody. Today is just a far-out day. I was out earlier. I think I saw the state of Wyoming fly over. Man, is it blowing out there. How is everybody? Let me just speak favor over all of you, invoking wonderful favor. And, you know, favor is the flavor. Yeah, it's almost better than chocolate. But nevertheless, yeah. So what's going on, folks? Nothing missing, nothing broken. I can tell you what, let me just move this here. There we go. Wanted to see it, you know, new camera, et cetera, et cetera. So good to see y'all. Happy birthday to those that are having one. I hope it's a good one. Hello, infants, infant frequencies. How are you? Good to see you. Hey, Big Al, home at last for the week. Al, my friend, if you definitely have put some frequent flyer miles. Keep the faith. Good to see you. Hello, Angel Fish, David Castle, Roots, and the Branch Homestead. Greetings. Lori, hello. B3, hey, Kent, how you doing, buddy? Zerloff, we're going to get Zerloff back on here, Steve. Got your email. Backed up a little bit. Man. So, yeah, I was just, you know, working at my desk and started getting all these emails. I mean, I get about 30 as a normal. I don't know. All these emails from people I didn't even know. Telling me to be strong and thank you for sharing. And no matter what anyone else says, and got emails from all over the place of others who have had such encounters. And yeah, so thank you. Appreciate it. You know, that's why we invoke favor here. We live it. We not only talk it, but we walk it, baby. So peace, man. David, how you doing? Blanca, good to see you, my dear. Dance on Waves, far out. Love it. Brian, good to see you. Grandpa, good to see you, Brian, as well. Bernard, man, lots of people. So I think I invoked or awoke or really put some cognitive dissonance with yesterday's program, which is cool. Yeah, it was, as I said, my experience. And wow, but I got emails literally from all over the world, folks, literally. And a lot of them telling me of encounters that they've had. And excuse me, seems that there is a commonality. Who knows? You know, the one thing I think we have to do and remember is accept all points of view. The minute you begin to label, categorize, you know, you can take it from there. Other people and their thoughts, you're not awake. You're very much in the construct and you're stuck. And folks, if there's one thing that we can do here always, and that is always be open-minded, not becoming where it becomes where we become divided because of thought, because of ideology, because of theology. And no one wins at that. We're no different than, you know, I'll just use the word the visitor told me, the barbarians. And we are the barbarians. I get the fact that a lot of people don't like the idea that, you know, we're not somehow these ascended beings and that we're not somehow, you know, the spark of everything. And It's a hard pill to swallow. The evidence shows that, as I was meditating last night and had a chance to furry out some of these other things, it's the answer that's in every book. Whether you're looking at the Bhagavad, whether you're looking at the Quran, whether you're looking at the Torah, whether you're looking at the Tumah, whether you be looking at the Bible, all there. I was thinking about this last night. The fall of man, which is a theme in every religion. Why? Because we have to be unworthy. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. Hello, Wayne's World. But when you approach it differently, like, well, wait a minute. What do you mean I'm unworthy? Who the hell are you to tell me that I'm unworthy? But if our DNA is flawed, that could be the fall. No true human templates left, huh? Makes you wonder. So tomorrow, please tune in. I have a special guest. JD is coming on. JD is a shaman. I think with everything that we've been seeing here, I think that we're going to have an opportunity to do some cleansing. Yeah. Like Steve Miller, abracadabra, baby. Laughter, folks. You can't get wrapped up when someone says something negative or positive about you. You know, I come from, the ad business, was president of the International Television Association and member of, in fact, back in the day in the Nashville Advertising Federation. And there's one thing you realize, there's no such thing as bad PR. If people are talking about you, far out, embrace them, speak favor over their lives, and just smile. Smile, even though. Indeed. So, you march on. Weird thing. So, got in the mail from whoever did this, thank you. And really interesting. These are Palladian Messages. Do you see this? Yeah. So there you go. And they all have sayings. And the thing is that I guess it's kind of like almost tarot. Never had a particular knack for tarot. Just was, some things you're good at. So anyway, the idea is to take a message. This is a message from the Palladians. That's what it says. So I'm just going to fan the cards out. That's cold here. I mean, like, 0 degrees with the windshield out there. And I'm going to pull one card and let's just see what they have to say. Okay. Truly, your masters, saints, and sages are real. They are no better than you. They just happen to be the messengers who have come down through the dimensions to this physical plane in order to help you remember who you are, assuming you want to remember. Well, that would be an important precursor to the whole thing. Whatever they can do, you can do, because all of you are creator beings. Believe that. We create our own realities. Yeah. So anyway, is that kind of cool? I don't know. I haven't even gone through these, but they all seem to have some pretty interesting statements. Anyway, So, speaking of messages, hey, we'll do this some more. Who knows? They're pretty. I know that. They look very nice. So, got a email from one of our own, consciously aware, I believe this is Josh anyway. He got this morning, and so I'm going to read it since today is 2/25. All right. To anyone that may come across this message, whether it is through your own reading of it or someone reading it to you, as moi, this is a timeless message. The message that today, 2/25/2020, will have just as much meaning to some as it will to others in the year 3000. Cool. If you are reading or hearing this message, then it is your time to remember that all that is within this message. This is a message for you, by you, at a different point in time and space. It is a message from a different reality that is also your reality. It's weird. They're going to talk about this soul thing, something that the geneticists can't figure it out. Okay, I'm afraid that I have already lost some of you, and that is entirely okay because the seed has been planted and you will be back when the time is right. Maybe not through this exact message, but from the same message in another place and another time. Every one of you will at some point come to the same realization. There are no two people that will come to this message and leave the exact same message. There are no two people that will come to this message. And all right, every person will take exactly what they need from it and leave with exactly that. Some may take something away from it immediately. Others may have to read it and listen to it over and over again in order to gain the knowledge that they are seeking. The one thing that I can promise you is that in some way this message will change each and every one of you, whether it is for better or for worse, that in itself depends on your own point of view. If you think it's negative, then it will be negative. If you think it is positive, then it will be positive. Remember, there is always the reverse side of every coin. Think the 7 principles talk about every paradox can be solved. No two sides are ever identical. One person's positive is another's negative, and vice versa. Throughout this journey that you have embarked on called life, you learn exactly what you need to learn, exactly when you need to learn it. You absorb knowledge with every moment that passes. You may not realize this and think that you are just living another day without anything new happening. But that is not the case at all. You see, with every moment that passes, you gain copious amounts of knowledge about everything that is going on around you. You constantly build and update the database that is stored within you. You are ever changing. This in itself is very important for you to know and realize, because this means that every moment of every day you are both born and die. Okay, I can see that. Now I lost my place. Isn't that, I hate it when that happens. Sorry, I completely. You see that with every bit of knowledge you gain, you were and therefore an old you dies and a new is born. Okay, sorry, it's a little difficult to read in some of this. This is the entire purpose of existence in this realm, to absorb and gain as much knowledge as possible, to create new things and learn the things that are possible for yourself within this reality. You create all that is around you. The way that your body is designed is just so that you can gain the exact knowledge that you need to. You interpret everything differently than every single person in your reality. Your interpretations also help form the interpretations around those around you, as theirs help you. Your body uses its six senses to interpret the energies that are around you and create exactly what you hear, smell, taste, touch, think. Everything is about tools that you use to interpret energy and vibration. You create tools in order to manipulate the interface with the energies that are around you. You create tools in order to attempt to view, understand the things that appear to be there, but you cannot see. You create tools to try to make life easier than it was yesterday. You create these tools and then forget that you truly have all the tools that you will ever need within you. This is not your fault. You see, you are all that is. Your five senses interpret the vibrations of all that is and turn the vibrations into the thoughts that you have. Without your thoughts, does anything exist? Without your thoughts, does this message exist? Some of you are thinking right now, well, of course it does because it's written down. And if I am not reading it, someone else surely will. Well, if you don't have thought, how would you know if that other person ever existed? If you didn't create that other person in your mind, they do exist. And if you don't take anything else from this message, remember, I am you, you are me, and we are all one. Yeah, we got a long. So anyway, if you want this, I'll send it to you. I got it in PDF. It's true. I think that we all have giftings. I think, though, sometimes we have to, at the same time, realize that I don't know what all tools mean. For me, it's like, well, what? There's a bigger package here, but we create our own reality. That's what it is, folks. That sounds bizarre because we're immersed into yet another reality. The existence that we have here is its individuality. No two people see the same accident. No two people see the same movie with the same take. We each have our own individual views, and so often I think that that's forgotten. We should revel in our individualities, and if some things don't feel right, well, then you just move on. So one of the things that I was meditating on is part of what I had gotten in this visitation, and that's life. What is life? It seems to be, circles within circles. It's amazing. Each person has a different perception of life. You probably perceive life because you're alive. And if the things around you that, are animated, animal life, plant life, we consider that to have life. That's life. One of the things that there's residuals. I was writing to a person who had very close to almost the same experience I did. And there were several, emails that verify this is going on. Some say, well, it seems like there's an amalgamation of information. It's true. I mean, we gather information all the time. If you are a detective, I have a friend of mine who was a detective for many decades, homicide. And, you know, when we would hang out and, have a couple of beers and, he'd begin to talk, it's what makes a case is not your great knowledge, your great perspective. What makes a case is the diligency of picking up the small bits, and you carry them. And there comes a point where those small bits make the montage of the case. And my visitation, it contained a lot of information that I hadn't known, but a lot of information was there. Listen, I'm convinced life exists. They can do that. Humans can do that. Our geneticists can create life in the lab. That isn't a big deal. Now, I say that somewhat cavalier, but I know that life is life. I mean, it's a big thing. But I'm talking about life like sentient beings of ourself. We can do that. What the geneticists and the aliens still can't figure out, and which kind of tells me something about some of the races, I don't know about the soul. They can't figure out the soul. They don't know where it comes from. What I got from it was that it's as much a mystery to them as it is to us. I'm sure that they were probably quite surprised when these hybrids began to say, well, no, we got something else in us. And I'm sure the geneticists were figuring, well, what do you mean you've got something else in you? Can't explain it. But it's not just my body. Well, no, you don't understand. We designed your body to have auto functions that you don't have to worry about. What we're more interested is to see your cranial development. Yeah, I get that. But what I'm telling you is that I got something else in me. I don't know what it is, but it seems to talk. The geneticists are going to, this is the mock interview. Well, does it have a voice? No, it's not like that. It's, I can't tell you. It's as though it's somewhere here. It gives me thoughts that question who I am. Well, no, you don't understand. It's not that you are anything. We created you in the lab. You have aspects that we put into your DNA. Yeah, I get that. But I'm telling you, there's something else here. And it makes me able to soar. I can actually leave my body. What do you mean you can leave your body? Well, yeah, I can leave my body if I want. My thoughts will go everywhere. Well, you're just thinking. No, I'm telling you, there's something else there. And, that's how it's gone. And I think for tens of millennia, they've been trying to figure out. And it tells me that all life doesn't have a soul. Think about it. So every human that's born, is it born with a soul? How do we know that? How do we A, define it, and then two, how do we validate it? Everyone will say, I have my soul. Now, it's real interesting. When I was deep in that lucid state, that I began to see something. Not all bodies have souls, but all souls don't need a body. All spirits can have a soul, but not all souls have spirits. That makes sense. A lot of people will say, but Wayne, you're talking basically about the same thing, spirit and soul. I don't think so. If you study philosophy, you'll find out, Plato on his whole treatise of what is the soul. Many of the Greek philosophers struggled with what is a soul. The spirit concept idea has been pretty much accepted, that all life has spirit to it. The question that the great philosophers, and even today, Alan Watts has a great series on the soul. How did we find the soul? Does the soul have the ability to separate from the spirit as well as the body? Matrix says the soul is mind, will, emotions. Yeah, and I went along that line, and I still contend. I don't know if we create the souls that are within us, but one of the things that I always remember in the book of Hebrews 4:12, that the word of God is sharper than any two-edged sword, able to separate asunder both spirit and soul, bone and marrow. It's the few passages that I found that gives at least serious debate that whoever wrote the book of Hebrews, and there's a lot of debate on that, but whoever put that in there, did that come from the Kabbalah? Where did that come from? How was that incorporated? I don't know. It's where we get the word dynamis. So the word of God is the dynamis, the power, able to separate asunder both spirit and soul. It's the question that I always had when I was a Christian, and in that mind meld was that, now wait a minute. There is complete contradiction here. It says, Paul writes, as I recall, that when we die, we pass through a fire, and all that is of hay, wood, and stubble is consumed, and that which is left is what is what? Is it your soul that we're talking about? Is it the spirit? This cleansing? Is the soul when the emotions come in? You see, this is the thing. So is it the ascendancy is the control of emotions? You must control your anger. You must control your envy. You must not have jealousy. You must not have, and I can just go on the whole list. I mean, should we have compassion, empathy, sacrifice, the virtues? Those are the things. Deep discussion. And it is that the soul? Is it the spirit that guides the soul? And if the soul can be separated, then do we give birth or creation to a version of us? And when we cross over into the astral, the ether, do we grant these creations the opportunity to choose its own path? Yeah, it is. I see that, JR. It's like, man, would you come on? It's given me we'll have to fix that. So please bear with me on that. You are all right. It's like a 70s effect. Yes. You're feeling very sleepy. Stare into the camera. Let's see. Steve says, I believe the soul is the exact frequency of your individual essence. That's interesting. Celestial Shamaka says, the spirit is the aesthetic glue that keeps us intact. Okay. Let's see. David Castle says, I don't believe that hate and fear are emotions, but I believe they are programs. Yeah, there you go. It's interesting how we see it. Figure it out. I don't know. It's one of those things that I think even the ETs can't figure out. I mean, if you think about this, I actually wrote this down. The DNA may be flawed, but the soul and spirit are not. You see, I keep these right near the bed. You know, Lynn's very used to them. Sometimes they'll be literally everywhere. Wake up in the morning and you're going, what the heck? And I have to go back and read these. And it's interesting because this is what it says. Not all life has a soul. DNA, and I had the equal sign, and I know what that means. DNA is flawed. The soul/spirit is not. Well, there's a conundrum. Huh. How about that one? Anyway, so, you know, Trina's not here. Everyone knows that I wrote in the description. Trina, we love you, dear, and you are to be healed. I am laying hands on you through this medium and speaking healing to your body, speaking to whether it be the virus or a bacteria. You got to get the hell out. Just telling you, ain't your body. So we're just, Trina, get yourself better, dear, and we will see you next week. Because, you know, I'm here all the time. I mean, yeah, but, you know, I always consider it to be a special treat to have Trina on each week. And I'm edifying her with words that are to lift her up. She is a special, special soul amongst us. Yes. So are y'all. Going to have Karen on here. I'm trying to get a date with her. By the way, again, tomorrow, got JD on. That's going to be fun. So get your questions. I have no idea what to expect. I'm looking forward that this will be an absolute joy and delight is what I look at it. Joe Sapien says, what if the soul spirit is the frequency like radio and TV waves and the nervous system similar to the rabbit ears? Yeah. You know, I really do meditate on this. This is how I get into lucid dreaming state. There goes that camera again. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So consciousness. You know, I give thanks for my consciousness. I don't give thanks to a God for my consciousness because there is something beyond God. But I have such joy. I dance in my soul because I have awareness of my consciousness. Without consciousness, I would not be aware that I have spirit or a soul. And so whosoever of that, whatever it is, I do give great joy in this gift that was given me. I consider it a gift, consciousness. And I love playing the game as I am focusing in and as I start going into that vortex, that place that all of us know about, that where does my consciousness reside? It's like playing hide and seek with yourself. Oh, where does my conscience be? Oh, where can my consciousness go? And David Barry says, your consciousness is all you know for sure exists. That's the only thing I know. And to me, it's a very special gift. The gift of consciousness. When I look at wildlife and try to make telepathic connections with them, you know, I ask myself, are they aware? Evidence says yes, very much so. By the way, remember when I was talking about in nursing homes where they have typically a cat that will go into the room to the person who is in the transition process? Well, my wife was telling me they have a dog that does the same thing. Will literally go into the resident's room and will be right there by the bedside all the way to that person's birth into the new realm. And then the dog goes about its business. So that tells me that to be aware would be that particular animals that can see this and are there to help. As I was telling her this morning as we were talking, I said it would bear out then that they're there, I believe, as a spirit guide. You know, folks, most of us, you, me, most of us will die alone. Those of us who have loved ones and that can be a part of that celebration, and it's not a funeral, it's not a death thing, it's a celebration. And to be surrounded, that's favor in your life, but we have to understand many do not. And I think how special that the animal kingdom will come in and serve as the surrogate spirit guide. Just something to think about, folks. That's why I do this every day. This is a joy because at some point in the future, and we haven't lost, well, they're not with us physically. They don't interact. I'm like Brian. Jerry Rourke was... Jerry was cool. There was a lot of Deborah. There's a number of people that been at this for 5-6 years now. It's one of those things that, it's going to happen. And so, I think that they're already getting ready for me. I mean, not that anything is going to happen soon. No, I'm got a sense that I have at least another 5,000 days here, but who knows? I often said, why is it that people that go in to have their fortunes told never ask, well, what day am I going to die? I mean, now that would be a person who's truly looking for their future. I mean, imagine if all of us had the exact moment that we are due to cross over, we're all given a certain amount of time. I think in one way we can increase that time, and I think we can also decrease that time. But nevertheless, would you want to know that exact moment? Let's see in the chat room. I should get the polling thing up. Hey, Trina, how you doing, sweetie? So would you like to know the exact moment that you are going to die? David Barry says no. Jules says nope. What else? Come on. Oh, Dance on Waves says yes. Think agape love always and forever. Nope. Autumn says yeah. Sherry says no way. Let's see. Angelfish, no thanks. Chosen Gold, yes. You see, isn't it interesting Thank y'all for answering. Look at that. Boy, I wish someone would take a tally on this. Quite interesting to see. Robin says, hell no. Paul Pease, why not? This is interesting. So if someone could take go back, that would be interesting to get the numbers of those who participated in this. One person, 7, says, Wayne, we have therapy dogs and cats here at Fort Lyon. And let me turn that back. In Los Alamos, Colorado. Okay, I did not know that. How beautiful is that? Yeah. Cool. So here's the next question. No, I can get that. So yes, would that, just asking those who answered yes, would you find that to be more, well, I guess if you said yes, you would obviously think it would be less stressful. Would it enhance your life? That's the question I have. And I would answer yes, because if I had, no is the joy of the ride of the unexplored. That's where I say no would come in. Yes would say, yeah, I mean, if you knew it, then would you live each day more vigorously, more intently? I bet you would. I don't know. That's why I love this group. Trina, you see, honey, I told you I was going to keep the audience engaged here. So interesting question. If you're hearing this on the replay, send me an email and let me know, yes or no. It's quite interesting how you look at that. Someone says, I could prepare for my death. Oh, yes, more intensely. Let me tell you what's happening. Lynn and I have already made our plans, and we're going to be cremated. I believe that is the way to release my soul totally from my body, that there is no connection left. I think it's a cleansing ceremony, just me. And I intend to have those who come to have a party. And this is rock and roll. This is what, I want them to celebrate my life, not cry, because guess what? It's my party. And well, Al, I told you it's a trip here. It does, doesn't it? Whoop, whoop, whoop. And if you look at the shirt, isn't it so tiny? I have to adjust that camera. It's pretty cool, though. I can see it. Yeah, it's I think it's rather cool, actually. So anyway, when you get along in life, you begin to realize that great line of Patrick Stewart playing, Picard, Jean-Luc, where the Borg were attacking, and him and Whoopi Goldberg are in 10 Forward, and he says, I have come to the realization that I have fewer days ahead of me than I do those behind me. But what I do know is that when one chapter ends, another chapter begins. And that's how I look at it. So I'll go with my spirit, my soul, and we'll just have some rock and roll. That's all I got to say. Hey, I got another document I'd like to share with you. Got several, actually. Let's see. 7 kinds of people the universe send your way. Heartbreakers, number 1. This is interesting. These are the people who come into our lives and really make us feel on top of the world, only to throw us off the edge of the building. They break us in more ways than we ever thought were possible. But in doing that, they teach us a very hard lesson. That lesson is different for everyone, and each heartbreaker we face might have something new in store. While we shouldn't assume people breaking our hearts is all right, those toads parading around as knights in shining armor don't just pop up for no reason. They are very negative, and you might wish you had never met them. They will, in the long run, teach you a very valuable lesson through this pain. Don't obsess over it, but also don't forget to learn from your mistakes. 2, eternals. These are the people who come into your life and stay in your life. They support you and they become lasting friends or close family members that never shy away. They have your back when you need them. The universe uses them to comfort you in many ways. They are the people who understand you and accept you as you truly are. They are there through the good times and the bad times. Nothing can tear them away from you. You are always there for one another, no matter the situation. People like this are far and few. Isn't it a fact, Jack? The runners. These are the people who come into your life and quickly change you. These changes may be positive or they might be overly negative. That varies. They do not stick around for long, and when they leave you, feeling like they have taken a part of you with them. Learning to let go of these people is important. It can be a bit painful, but it is a different kind of pain than the pain you feel when the heartbreaker comes around or chooses to leave. This is a much cleaner cut. The reminders. These are the people who come into your life to remind you of something. They sometimes stick around for a while, but usually are only here for a moment. They give you simple pointers or remind you of something you have been forgetting. These kinds of people often get overlooked. The teachers. These are the people who come to you to teach you something. They have a lesson ready for you, whether they realize it or not. They force you to accept yourself and to move forward, whether you want to or not. These kinds of people really make a huge difference in our lives. 6, the learners. These are the people who come into our lives to learn from us. You see, we don't always have to be the ones learning. Sometimes we can be the teachers. During this time, we are through our actions without realizing it teaches something to someone that really shapes who they become. We make a much bigger difference than we ever thought we could. Number 7, the empowers. Oh, I love the empowers. These are the people who really push you to do and be who you want to be. They come into your life at the perfect time and really empower you. They make you feel like you can accomplish anything you put your mind to. And from that, you are able to truly soar. Feeling like someone believes in you is an amazing thing to experience. And we all deserve that experience. I thought I'd just share that with y'all. That's just far out to me. I'll tell you, there's nothing better in our lives than to have those who edify us, build us up. Boy, if we could just do that every day for someone, make someone happy, just one person make someone happy. You see, wouldn't that be the way to do it? Carry that on over to the other side? Oh, yeah. So I'm looking in there. Yes, indeed. I like that. Well, I thought I'd just share that with y'all. Listen, that's on a PDF. You can get it. I'd be more than happy to, sometimes we had to almost print those out. And look for those people that come in our lives. I think today we live in an age where we can communicate, but yet we really Don't know. I know this, if each of us worked, and I don't even think it's worked, but just made it a goal just to lift someone up. I think the book of Proverbs says, a word spoken at just the right time, how sweet it is. Again, a merry heart maketh. Actually, laughter maketh a merry heart. And a merry heart is a healthy heart. You can actually repair your heart. I'm just going to tell you, by laughing. To be a person of joy, to be a person that says, no, I may not agree with this person, but I don't want to inflict pain on them. Why would someone want to inflict pain on another person with words? Why? That's the question I ask. Is that the sign or a trait of an enlightened, awakened person? No. If you're hurting people using words as a sword, brother, sister, you ain't who you think you are. You need to go into the corner with a little time out and get this thing figured out. No, we've got to stop that. Listen, I was that way for a long time. I could, but I look back now and such an angry young man. So many things that I expended so much energy on that didn't mean crap. Wasn't lasting, nothing of any value. Now I look at the days and I say, well, who can we bring joy to? Who can we invoke favor over? That's what this community grows. 360 people plus watching. You see, isn't that? We make the full circle here, folks. And each of us are beautiful in our own ways. Everything is beautiful in its own way. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And if we would celebrate that more, this community would probably double. But then again, there's a certain intimacy with, people that many of people I look here, y'all been here with me for many of you been from the beginning, and many since I started doing these noonday shows from the beginning. And it's a family. It's truly becoming a family. And I think sometimes that word is so cliche-ish, can be overused, but I think in this case, there's validation for it. Kenny Rogers. Yeah. I actually saw Kenny Rogers in concert. Nice guy, shame how, we lost those, but, and now you got me thinking. Now think about the different songs. Kenny Rogers in the first edition, Ruby, Take Your Love, Don't Take Your Love to Town. The duet, I think I always saw with Dolly Parton, I think was great. That's right, Trina. It is the best Soul Tribe, darling. I hope you're going to get better there. It is. Truth of me, I've decided to put myself in timeout permanently. You see, now truth in me didn't know, but what they gave to me was laughter. That's like a good medicine, folks. That's joy. That releases those healthy enzymes, those endorphins that flood our body, and our organs thrive for that. They feed off that because it's joy. It's transmuted through every organ, every cell of your body. It's like central control going, we got a big dose of joy coming down, and everyone's going, all right, come on, man. And, they put David Bowie on and they're starting to dance. That's what I'm saying. Let's dance, got the song going today. Well, that's just sometimes how it is, sarcasm is a form of humor. Absolutely. Don Rickles, I think, was probably one of the best at that. And it is. If you can laugh at your failures, you have not failed. Celestial, you are absolutely right. Jill says belly laughs are euphoric. They are indeed. David Barry says, I got my sisters with me. Well, hello, David Barry's sisters. How are y'all doing? Good to see you. So, yeah, anyway. All right. This is a far-out group. It really is, no doubt about it. And it's a joy being around y'all. Have some tea here before we get this wrapped up. Well, I hope you all have enjoyed this. I mean, Trina, I think I did a good job. Let's laugh, folks. Let's dance. You know, I'll be 65 in June. I don't see myself as 65, but yet that is what I am. That's where I'm heading. And, you know, I can really get where Mick Jagger comes from. You just continue to dance. You know, David Bowie went out the same way. And, you know, been a far out ride so far. And it's really, I have to say, this is the best of the best. Getting to know all of you. Yeah, we share, we grow. Yeah, young at heart. That's true. You know, I was listening to the Rod Stewart song. He does a pretty good one, you know, young at heart. I enjoy that song as well. Well, thanks, Truth. Yeah, you know, it's going by too fast. Sela in favor, great joy here. Absolutely. I mean, you know, learn to cha-cha, you know. Dancing is also a very erotic, you know, it's something that, you know, if you have that loved one in your life, learn to dance, you know. You start sharing that energy, and the next thing you're talking a whole language that doesn't even need words. That's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Love is the drug I'm looking for. Thank you, Roxy Music. Boy, just think, in the last 10 minutes, how many different artists I have given you today. Is that variety? That's all I got to say, you know. A little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll, a little bit of classical, a little bit, I can't say opera. I've tried. And it's a different wine. That's all I can tell you. All right, folks, this has been a lot of fun. I think there was a lot of healing that took place here today. I really do. And, you know, this group, this just shows you what can happen. When we start laughing, when we start beginning to exhibit the state of joy, magic happens. And regardless if we're hybrids or not, who the hell cares? What I say is that we're here right now. That's all that matters. And if there's some asshole running this thing, fine, let him be an asshole. I don't care. We're here. We're growing. We're laughing. We're dancing. They're not. And it shows that we have soul and we've got rhythm. Yeah, there you go. They probably don't even like Motown. Can you imagine that? All right, folks. Love you. Be at peace. Be at joy. Make someone happy today. And Miss Trina, we're sending you the healing energy, love. All right, folks. See you tomorrow. All righty. Bye-bye.